Howdy! Did you know that there were 4 main councils in the Jedi Order, not just the High Council, which we see in the films? Now you do. Let's talk about it. Did a couple daily doctrines on this last week, but I got a lot of good questions, so I just wanted to kind of go over it. So, the Jedi Temple has 5 main towers, and the councils met in each of the 4 surrounding towers of the main spire in the middle, which we'll talk about in a sec. So the council towers each hosted one of the Jedi Councils. They had the Tower of First Knowledge, the Reassignment Council Tower, the High Council Tower, and the Tower of Reconciliation. Okay, so obviously the Jedi High Council is what we're most familiar with, made up of 12 Jedi and led by the Grand Master. And they kind of oversaw the order as a whole, kind of the main council there of the Jedi. And then in another tower, we had the Council of First Knowledge, led by the Caretaker of First Knowledge. The role of the Council of First Knowledge was to procure advice on matters requiring ancient Jedi wisdom. Convening in the Tower of First Knowledge, the council oversaw the curriculum of the temple and the Jedi archives. Qui-Gon would have probably been really good on that council. Council of Reconciliation. They convened in the Tower of Reconciliation, and they were charged with attempting to settle interplanetary disputes, and they worked with the Galactic Senate and Republic Diplomatic Corps to achieve that. Council of Reassignment. The Council of Reassignment organized work for Jedi younglings who were not chosen to be elevated to the rank of Padawan. Convening in the Reassignment Council Tower, the council also had jurisdiction over the Jedi Service Corps. So I thought that was really interesting as well. I never kind of thought that, yeah, there's definitely Padawans or younglings who don't get chosen to be Padawans or maybe aren't quite ready yet. So that's kind of what the Council of Reassignment does. And then, of course, the Middle Temple Spire, which is also known as Tranquility Spire. A lot of people think that that's where the High Council would meet, but it's actually shown in films that it's not where they meet. But that is the tallest of the temple's 5 spires, and it was filled with turbo lifts, like basically giant elevators that would take visitors up and down. And as you went up and down, you would see all sorts of artifacts detailing the Jedi history. There would be a history of the Order mosaics, holograms, statues of important Jedi from history. Kind of cool. And then within the tower itself, there was lots of halls and areas for meditating and things like that. Kind of the cool thing too is that this tower is actually built on what was called the Sacred Spire, which is the name of a mountain peak, an actual natural mountain that was built around, everything was built around it. And that peak itself of the mountain was actually a nexus or a forest vergence. And down in the bottom of the spire, as you can kind of see up there, the tip of the mountain is still showing, and you could actually access it and go into the mountain. The Jedi could, and there's places inside of that mountain where you could meditate, things like that. So a lot of really cool stuff just within the history and details of these towers that I thought was really fun and worth talking about. As always, thanks guys for watching, and please give us a follow if you haven't already.